Hey everyone, thanks for finding the podcast and taking time to listen. Ehnotherpodcast.com is where you can find everything to do with the podcast. Now, I'm on Twitter, Ehnother Podcast. You can just look it up, Ehnother Podcast. Thank you very much, and here is the show. Hello everyone, welcome to Ehnother Podcast. I am your host, James. And I got some good stuff to tell you, stuff that's coming up, and I'm really excited about. The one thing I can tell you is, I don't even know what episode this is, I'm going to look it up after, but I recorded the podcast yesterday with OJ and happened to lose it all. I don't know how this happened. It's very rare. I think what happened was I started recording, plugged my iPhone in to keep it charged while we record, and it was plugged into the computer, so it started to sync, and then I lost all data after 3 minutes, which is really sad. I was really sad about that because we had a good hour and a half long conversation, and so it just turned out that we talked to each other and it didn't record. So what we did talk about was like the Grey Cup stuff and things like that. That's coming up this weekend, Toronto versus Calgary. I said that Toronto would win the Grey Cup, and OJ said that Calgary would win. That's his feeling. So we'll see how that pans out. We talked about the 100-year history of the Grey Cup and how it came to be. It originated as actually an amateur hockey trophy for senior leagues or something like that by Earl Grey. Not the T, but the guy. So then it was Earl Grey took it back, and he gave it to the professional league 100 years ago, and ever since then, it's the 100th Grey Cup this year, which is great, which is amazing, which is, when you think about it, the Super Bowl is only 47 years, and this is 100 years of tradition, which is really awesome. So 2 professional trophies that are actually designed similar, the Grey Cup and the Stanley Cup, are awarded to the winner, but they don't get to keep it. They have the honor of, like, hanging a banner or, afterwards and having their name engraved on the cup, as it were. Stanley Cup has rings, and the Grey Cup has like long plaques on it that I guess get changed out every so often. So yeah, that's kind of what we talked about, our favorite Grey Cup moments. I can quickly summarize them for you because I feel bad that we lost this podcast. And OJ's was the time in 96. He went to the 96 Grey Cup with the Spartans. They weren't playing, but there was some meetings of the NFC, the Northern Football Conference, down in Hamilton, Ontario. And he saw the Edmonton Eskimos and the Toronto Argonauts battle for the Grey Cup, and I know the Argonauts came out on top of that. Now, the funny thing is about all that is that my favorite Grey Cup moment is actually from that very Grey Cup. There is a guy who he still is involved in the CFL, and he's an amazing speaker, Mike Pinball Clemens. He'd bounce all over the field. It was amazing. So in Hamilton, it was snowing that day. So many years ago. It happens on the same day, same Saturday of the November, and or Sunday of the November. He bounced. It was snowing. They were clearing the fields off in between TV timeouts and stuff like that, and Mike Pinball Clemens bounced all over the field and for a punt return touchdown. So that was one of my favorite moments. So what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you what's going to happen with the show. And I'm so excited about this. So what I have lined up to do is it's a thought I had, something that I wanted to do, and opening my coffee from this morning. I am changing Ehnother podcast. It's not changing in as much as the address is going to change and stuff like that, but I'm building a podcast network for budding Canadian podcasters that want to give it a try, give it a shot. If you want to do a regular podcast once a week, and you don't have time to work out all the details and set it up and stuff like that, that's what I'm here for. So Ehnother podcast will still be the website, but I'm going to be changing the feed soon to and this is partly my fault. I accidentally deleted my feed on FeedBurner, and there seems to be some issues with it, especially when I try to connect with an iPhone. So hopefully I get that sorted. And if I change the feed, then there'll be a whole nice new little banner, Ehnother podcast network, that will be submitted to iTunes and other various podcast vendors for everyone's listening pleasure. Now, this will be the Monday show. The flagship show, Ehnother podcast, is the flagship show, which will play on Mondays, every Monday, hopefully, and that's partly, due to what I have going on and how many I can bank and stuff like that. So I'm working really hard on that. The other show is on Tuesdays, which I record with OJ, the radio show, Real Music, on CKLU 96.7 FM here in Sudbury, Ontario, community radio station. We talk about movies and stuff like that, so there's pretty much a format to that show, whereas this one we talk about anything: movies, music, TV, sports, everything. Everything gets talked about. So I'm looking for a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday show. No shows on Sundays. And unless I get really, really ambitious and just play the best bits of the week in the show, just to do a little promotional thing. I don't know. Maybe I might do that. But for the artists that would like to podcast, if you're going to be a regular podcast, and I'm going to give you a free trial period and stuff. See if you can get me a show once a week. An hour long, an hour and a half long. Doesn't matter. We'll work out everything. What will happen after the trial period is it'll cost $30 for a year. So it's like something like 57 cents or 58 cents a podcast a week, basically, is what it would cost you. So less than a cup of coffee, less than a couple of Timbits, I think, and you could be podcasting. So you can contact me, anotherpodcast@gmail.com, and we can talk about the details. We can get it all sorted. Get you the site to where everything gets uploaded. There's a cost to it because I'm hosting the podcasts for you. Gonna promote your show with adverts within the other shows, except for Real Music, because Real Music is its own beast, as it were, and will only have taglines on the end to say that it's being hosted on Ehnother podcast network at ehnotherpodcast.com. So, contact me, Ehnother podcast, that's Ehnother podcast, at gmail.com if you want to try to do your own podcast. And we'll work out the payments, as it were. And basically what this does is it allows for a lot of things to happen in the future. I'm not talking about it. I'm not giving any details away. But OJ and I are working on some great things, and we're going to bring something to the table, hopefully, that has never been absorbed by the human mind. I'll just put it that way. So we are not making drugs, but something else. Hopefully entertaining, hopefully riveting, and hopefully great. We're working on that, and hopefully soon. Once the wheels have begun, and once they get in motion, it'll be hard to stop the train. And then once the train is pulled into the station and ready for your mind to get blown, then we'll let you know the details. So it's a short little podcast today, just to say, I'm sorry for the past couple weeks not having anything for you to listen to and stuff like that, but just to tell you, there's some great guests coming too as well. I have a tattoo artist that's going to come in and going to tell some stories about how he got into tattooing and how he started, how he loves the art, where you can find him. He's locally found in Sudbury, Ontario. He did my tattoo, my wife's tattoo. He's a great artist. And that's the thing with a tattoo. You can either trace or you can be an artist, and this guy's an artist. So I can't wait to have him in the show. This is all in the new year. These guests are going to come in. I'm looking for a UFO hunter, which I haven't really tried that hard to look for, but I know there is one here in town I will be talking to. I know I keep saying G-Rant, but hopefully G-Rant and I hook up in the new year for the podcast. And if not, well, it didn't work out. That's okay. But I would really like to talk to G-Rant, as he is, in my opinion, the best radio disc jockey. I don't know what they like to be called these days, here in town in Sudbury, Ontario. So we'd like to talk to him. Going to be talking with the Cambrian women's basketball coach sometime in the near future about how he got into basketball, how he loves coaching, and stuff like that. Going to be talking to a Sudbury Star reporter, sports reporter, Bruce Heidemann, in the new year. So going to be talking about how he goes out and how he does his thing and how he got into journalism and stuff like that. It's the other one I have. I have a friend of mine I went to high school with. She and her fiance, not boyfriend, they were boyfriend and girlfriend a while ago, but fiance, they will come in and talk about their MMA studio. So MMA is a big thing, catching on, crazy stuff. Not crazy as in crazy, but just everything that's going on with them, with what they're doing here in town, with just everything that they do, the competitions they go to, and what they can offer people if they want to get into it. Now, it's not just all types of MMA, but it's actually Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I usually have a hard time saying. I'm surprised I got it off this time. But they do MMA, maybe not MMA, but anyhow, don't quote me on that one. So we'll find out more about that in the new year. What else do I have? Well, as always, OJ will be in, and then looking to get Aaron back. We got some discussions to do. So Aaron, you have to hit me up in the new year, maybe over Christmas break. We'll see, because I'll have time off. And we can get a whole bunch of podcasts done. A friend of mine who is like a brother will just Skype in for an interview, and we'll do the podcast, or he'll be here around Christmas, and we'll meet up and do that because he wants to do that. And so we'll give it a go with my brother. So and then after that, we're working hard to bring you what I hope to be the best entertainment that you have heard. And that might be hard to do, but I'm working on it. So those are just some of the things that we're bringing you. As I said, Ehnother podcast at gmail.com. If you're a budding podcast artist and you want to give it a shot, we'll work it out. We'll work out the details. Rules for that is, sorry I didn't get to this far, this part earlier. But you have to be Canadian, because it's a Canadian podcast network is what I wanted to do. So sorry everyone else outside the good old great northern country of Canada, but just I know you might be listening to this in other places, but this is what I'm trying to do. So we're working on that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, and I don't think there is anything else. What I do know, I want to tell you a quick story, and then I'm going to end with that. Yesterday, I went to the grocery store, and I go down the aisles, and I noticed that they started changing stuff around, because I'm like, well, what the hell? I can't find anything, right? And it's not like I haven't been there in a while. I haven't been there in 2 weeks, but in that time span, they've changed aisles around. They still haven't even updated the signage inside the store to say you're in this aisle and you can find this. But anyhow, I'm going to put the picture up with the podcast after, and on one side of the aisle is canned vegetables and everything that is supposedly good for you. And then on the left-hand side of the aisle in the picture, you will see cookies and wafers and all different types of little snacking items that if you go down that aisle with your kid, they're going to be looking at the cookies and not looking at the good stuff. So I know why they do it, because they want you to buy that stuff, and it's all marketing and stuff, but that kind of stuff should be outlawed. Yeah, I said it. Should be outlawed. Bastards. Yeah, so that's all for Ehnother podcast this week. Lost the podcast, and I feel terrible about that. But you can go to ehnotherpodcast.com for all your podcast needs, hopefully. Hopefully you do that. And you subscribe on iTunes. Just look at iTunes and type in Ehnother podcast. And if we find a new feed, if I have to find a new feed, I will let you know. You'll be the first to know. But I'm hoping I don't have to. So thank you for listening. And yeah, I hope you have a good week. And tomorrow, Real Music, episode 10, recorded live from CKLU 96.7 FM in Sudbury, Ontario. So, OJ, I'm sorry I lost the episode. It was good talking to you yesterday. And for everyone else, I hope everyone has a wonderful week. We're only a month away from Christmas, so I hope you have all your Christmas shopping done. And if you don't, like me, it's going to be painful. Very painful. Okay, bye. Thanks for listening, everyone. It means the world to me. It really does. Ehnotherpodcast.com. You can always find everything that you need for the podcast. There's going to be photos, videos. There's a video YouTube channel that will be going up very shortly. More details on that later. It'll probably be called Ehnother Podcast. So follow us on Twitter, ehnotherpodcast.com at Twitter, whatever. Thanks for listening. Bye.